So I was thinking about the wilderness, and this is what God dropped in my spirit. If you're not familiar about the children of Israel coming or being brought through the wilderness, you should study the history of Exodus, Leviticus, and Numbers. And it speaks about how God had sent Moses to tell Pharaoh to let his people go. And his people were the children of Israel, who is Jacob's bloodline. They had been enslaved and by Pharaoh. And so they had been enslaved for such a long time that they eventually build the mindset of a slave and what they do, what their responsibilities are and everything. And so when the time came, God delivered them from out of Egypt. And instead of taking them directly to the promised land, he had them to go through the wilderness so that they can, give sacrifices to him. But then I started thinking about it. Why the wilderness? The wilderness really was the desert. There's nothing out there but sand and sun and people. And so God said to me, I called you out of Egypt, the place of bondage, and brought you into the wilderness so that you may know me. I had to bring you into the wilderness to change your mindset so that you will no longer have the mindset of a person in bondage. I had to change your way of thinking and your way of doing things and learn my ways, learn the things that I have placed in you. And then once you have learned the right way of living, instead of living in bondage, the way of freedom, to live free, then you'll be able to go into the promised land. And you'll go into the promised land with a free mind and not the mind of someone in bondage. And it really just made me think about people that backslide and then try to get back in place with God. It's a moment of tension within that person's self because they're having to unlearn all the things that they were doing in sin. Basically, their mind was in bondage, and God is having them to go through a place of the wilderness. The people of Israel, when they were in the wilderness, they complained. They were hungry, they were thirsty, and they constantly panicked, and they felt safe in bondage because they knew what to expect. It was their comfort. But God pulled them out of what was comfortable to them and had to teach them the free way of thinking, the free way of living, the free way of worshiping him. So when we backslide and we get, we return back to God, we first have to understand that our repentance does not call to be defended. It doesn't need to be, because he's defending us. He's the one that forgave us. Then we have to forgive ourselves. Our repentance doesn't call for justification. We don't have to explain to people why we no longer do whatever we do. It just is because now you understand where you were, what it looked like being in bondage, what it looked like not following God. And then you make up your mind to not compromise or let anything compromise your relationship with God. Being in the wilderness is not easy. It's not fun, and it's not what you want it to be, but it is necessary. When you're in the wilderness, you not only learn about yourself and the things that you need to work on, but you also learn about God. You learn about his unconditional love. You learn about his grace and his mercy. When you thought that he wasn't there, you realize that he's always been there, covering you and protecting you and making sure that you are okay. And then you learn the things that you used to do. You learn what to look out for. So when you're pursuing this journey, pursuing this goal to win the race, you'll know what to look for along the way where you won't get sidetracked. So in your time of going through the wilderness, be okay with it, because it's only meant to strengthen you. Not just you, but your relationship with God. He's doing a new thing, and he's stripping you of the old ways of things, the old way of thinking, the old way of living, the old way of just being. Trust him in the wilderness. Trust that he's going to provide everything that you need. Even in the wilderness, the children of Israel, they didn't, I don't know that they realized it, but their clothes weren't damaged. They didn't have to go and make new clothes and get new clothes. He provided ways for them to eat. He gave them more than enough. He provided drink when they were thirsty. He provided protection from any of their enemies. Like in the wilderness, sometimes we get so focused on the place or the space that we're in, the temperature of the place. We're so focused on those things that we forget to keep our eyes focused on God. When he's a pillar in a cloud, or he's a pillar of fire in the nighttime, he's guiding us. He's constantly guiding us and watching over us and protecting us. So during the time of wilderness, stay focused on him. Continue to trust him. Don't get weary. Learn what you need to learn, because the promised land is yours. You will get there. You will get to the promised land. And when you do, you'll appreciate it so much more. I hope this bless you. Have a good day.